Black Light. I got some serious talk. I want y'all to give it some thought. Uh, First of all, this is addressing all my brothers. I want you to think about what I'm about to say seriously. And no matter what group you belong to, what religious affiliation you have, but mainly I'm addressing those brothers who say they follow the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and are registered Muslims in the Nation of Islam and are sympathizers or brothers who associate and sympathize with the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. First of all, and we all are guilty in my counseling. I'm counseling now. I'm not a preacher, somewhat a teacher, but I'm counseling. I'm counseling you to choose an alternative way of living here in America. See, the reason why brothers and sisters are slow to gravitate to the Nation of Islam and the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad is because the brothers, the FOI and the MGT aren't showing them a alternative cash flow. Are not showing them, serious cash flow. I'm not talking about, working in a restaurant and working in the bakery. If you're not doing that, what Elijah Muhammad did, not only did he preach and teach, he was an example. Now, when I was coming up, I wanted to follow, when I was a little boy, I wanted to follow in my father's footsteps, my old man's footsteps. Now, everything my father did, I agreed with at a certain point when I got a little older. But I observed the things that he done that was successful. And he done a lot of things that made an example, made me follow his example. Elijah Muhammad is not in the same category of my father, but he's my spiritual father. And I agreed with everything he did and said. And he left an example for me to follow, other than preaching and teaching, talking. He built up an empire. So he gave the brothers and sisters an alternative way of making money. They didn't have to go to the white man. They could go to themselves, each other, and make money, and plus live a righteous life at the same time. They didn't have to bow down to the persuasion of the Caucasian. Now, I just, came into this realization because the Nation of Islam is splintered up. Some follow Farrakhan, some follow others. Some other brothers follow Malcolm after he was kicked out the Nation of Islam. But Malcolm still still was a Muslim. He still did Islam. These brothers, they leaving the Islam part out of it, the righteous part out of it, and just going through the motions of what Malcolm said and did, but not even doing what Malcolm said and did. You see? Because they still under the persuasion of the Caucasian. So this is what my talk is about today. Why y'all brothers say y'all following Muhammad Elijah Muhammad, but y'all not even building up the empire. I mean, when Chrysler lay off, at this point in time, we should be able to come to the Nation of Islam and work in our own car factory. You know? I mean, the black farmers, you know, they're being squeezed out, but by this point in time, we should have our Islamic farming, black farming, the Nation of Islam black farming. We should have, when the supermarkets gouge prices and go up, we should have our own your supermarkets. Brothers say, well, you know, Wallace messed that up. That was 20 years, more than 20 years ago. That was almost 40 years ago when Wallace did what he did. And we not following the example. Sit. Yeah, we talk, we preach, we teach, but we not doing. By this time, you know, we should have our own communities, you know. Just like the Amish got their community, the Chinese got their community, and we blame it, you know, the brothers blame it on the lay brothers and sisters. So this is part one. We're gonna come back with it too.